Today on episode 245 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, TCF Sports Minute, our college football corner, a new team builder, the NFL Week 15 recap, and the TCF top 3 of animated TV characters. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Today is episode 245. Make sure to check us out on X at typical_Chicago, Facebook and Instagram as well. Give those pages a like. For all of our content in video form, go on over to YouTube, subscribe there. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can find us there as well. So subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars, whatever you can on whatever platform you get your podcasts. We are there. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF, and of course, Zach at ZLilia TCF. And make sure you give Maddie a follow at schools_01 as well. Zach, little weird weekend, but it was a cold week this week, man. Feels like winter.
Yeah, we had a little freezing rain, which is the worst of it all.
Yeah,
I'll get into that with my sinker, but yeah, winter time is technically here. Is it winter time?
no, I don't believe the winter solstice has happened yet.
That's the stupidest. I hate that. It's like it's winter.
Yeah, it is. It's next Saturday, the December 21st at 3:20 in the morning. So,
But yeah, I think we need to change our timing of seasons. But yeah, winter's here. It's hopefully not going to be like nasty and slushy and whatever like that one day. I'd almost rather have snow.
Yep.
But
it's funny you say that because I've always thought of, or I never really had thought about this till like this year. My birthday's on September 10th, right? Did you know that my birthday is technically in the summer? But like no one would think I'm a summer birthday, right? I'm a fall birthday.
Hold on to seasons too long.
I think it's like an old timey thing. Like it goes by the moon phases or whatever.
But I think we're gonna have a little bit of a warm weather week coming up here.
Yeah.
That's Illinois though. 1 week it's bitter cold, 1 week it's ice, snowing, rain, ice, whatever, and the next week it's 60 degrees.
Yeah, my team had a game yesterday. We were just up in Amboy, like maybe 20 minutes north of Lamoille, and it took us 20 minutes to get there, and we had to go all the way back through Mendota just because all the back roads hadn't been salted yet, and people were sliding all over the place. So what should have been a 20-minute drive took like 45 minutes.
It's that time of year when you go to do something, you have to make sure the weather like hours before, not days before, because you never know.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it kind of leads us into, I think you kind of mentioned it's going to lead into your sinker, but it kind of leads into mine too. It was like 45 degrees today, and I've talked about this like 6 times on our show. So I had to finish up my snow fence in the front of my yard, right? So I had gotten 2 metal fence posts and not thinking about, I'm like, this is going to take, these are just support posts. These aren't the main ones. These are just to kind of fill up some gaps in my fence. And they're little 5-footers with, I guess like foot railings on the bottom, that you jump on to push into the ground. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
They're like almost like where you put on a pogo stick. And I wasn't thinking about it. I just threw my headphones in, threw my yard shoes on that I mow the yard in, and went outside and set it in the ground and went to jump on it. And sure enough, those little metal fence post things that you put your feet on went right through my shoe and into my foot. So knew something was wrong right away. It broke through both shoes. Luckily, my left foot, it didn't go into my foot. My right foot, by the time I even got in the house and got my sock off, was bleeding pretty hard. So yeah, I'm probably got to go get a tetanus shot tomorrow. Really fun stuff.
I keep saying is not to be mean, but if you're gonna get one, you need to get one now, not tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll play the waiting game and just see what happens.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of a hard love here. I'm done feeling sorry for you when you hurt yourself. I'm done. You hurt yourself so many times that it's dude.
So I come in the house
doing things.
I know, dude. I don't know what to do about it. I'm 34. I have things I need to get done in my yard. Like,
I think you just
I can't not do it.
You're either gonna hurt yourself worse, or just your house is gonna have problems.
Yeah, dude. So the whole time we're sitting there, and my wife was luckily she went and grabbed our little. My wife has known me long enough. She bought a first aid kit for our house just because she knows me. So she's like bandaging my foot up, cleaning it up, whatever. And the whole time, the only thing going through my head is I don't even know if I want to tell Zach about this
Yeah,
because he's going to make fun of me.
I don't think you next time you get hurt, don't tell me. Just leave it to yourself.
I know. But you're like the person I talk to like the second or third most in my life, so you're just going to have to hear my stupidity stories.
But like I said, I'm going to have to give you hard love though, because the feeling bad train is gone. Now we're going to have to go to maybe we got to send you somewhere.
At this point, it's not even like I don't even tell you things out of sympathy. It's just to tell you like how stupid I am.
Well, yeah, you have to
Because I
tell
know
me
you'll appreciate it.
You're going to be limping around for a while too.
Yeah. And that's another thing, like foot injuries and foot cuts, like you're in a sock all day. They don't just heal up super fast.
You don't do anything cool to hurt yourself.
I know. I know, man. Tell me about it.
Start being reckless in different ways. Don't be like doing yard work.
No, because if I get any more reckless, dude, it's not going to end well. Like
your son is probably like, "What is wrong with my father? Why does
why does he have some sort of different bandage on him every other week?"
You think the baby would be the one hurting himself, but it's the father.
No, I definitely hurt myself more than he does.
Well, my sinker is ice, and ice just sucks. You sometimes you can't see it. And like my driveway is kind of it's kind of downward, so you can easily slip on it. I just hate ice. Everything about ice, it just freaks me out. At least snow, you can kind of drive and form to it. Ice, it's always dangerous.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. I totaled 2 cars in my life. One was I hydroplaned in the rain, so I'm weird about driving in the rain.
Back to the things happening to Boomy.
These are not my fault.
I know,
these are weather related.
You had everything.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Really
but the second
one broke more bones.
Oh, it's crazy that I've only broke 2 bones in my life, and these 2 fingers.
You're just tough enough just to bleed it out.
Yeah, exactly. Get a couple tetanus shots here and there. But my second accident, I had a 4-wheel drive older expedition. I was driving to student teaching. It was like 6 a.m, and sure enough, I went like over an overpass, and it was snowing super hard. But there was black ice underneath it, and lost control and ended up going down the embankment and almost cleared this tree, but the back end of my car got completely ripped off from the tree that I almost missed. So I'm like super, super weird. Like anything that has to do with ice. Once it starts freezing and people start slipping, I drove home from Lamoille last night after our game, and it's normally a 14-minute drive. I think it took me like 34. I'm such a...
Well, the people who are like, "Oh, you shouldn't go out if you are scared of driving," that's true, because it's scary. It's
not like I agree, but some people have to go out.
No, I know, but you know what I mean? Some people are like, you just get used to it. Now, no one gets used to driving in the ice.
I feel like if I hadn't, like that expedition I totaled, like the fact that in my brain I know that was 4-wheel drive and I had it turned on and it still didn't matter, like that is screwed. Because like my car has 4-wheel drive now, but I'm still like, well, it doesn't matter because I've already had one that it didn't matter then. So
also, if you got nowhere to go, just stay home. Don't.
Exactly. I fully subscribe to that. If I have nothing to do, I learned my lesson the year I took my old Navigator with 4-wheel drive and didn't make it 100 yards down the road. But now, like some people, like legitimately have to drive through in this, whether they want to or not.
Saturday, I was gonna go to Boomy's game, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of icy out. I really don't want to chance it.
Yeah,
and it's just one of those things. If you think that, you should probably stay home.
Yep, I agree.
And you're just freaked out the rest of the time.
Yep, absolutely. My floater this week is so this is our last week of work before winter break. So obviously nice, but the thing that is coming back and the thing that is making this a floater is I always find it so funny that people that think the joke is like, hey, see you next year, or this is my last day of week of work this year. Like those jokes are coming back, and I just find those people so funny.
I hate those. I mean, I'm not around as much because of what I do, and I'm not around as many people who would make that joke. But I hate that.
It's like to the point now. I'm very much like you. I'm in the sense of like I find it funny because it's so ironically dorky. You know what I mean?
Oh, people love it though.
Yeah, like when people, I can't help but laugh because it's just like, oh, they thought they just killed on this one, and that's not as
Sometimes you
good.
do though.
Yeah, well, that's fair. But also, Zach, my secondary floater is, and I always forget, I need to add this to my type script for the intro, is that we are working to grow our TikTok, and we thank the people that have subscribed here lately. But I've been doing this series, Today in History, or I'm sorry, Typical Day in History, on our TikTok page. It's Typical Chicago Fans. I'm trying to keep it as Illinois and Chicago centric and sports centric as possible. There's going to be some days where I have to, alleviate from that game plan. But yeah, so if you're on TikTok, check it out, give it a follow, throw it a
Right here.
like. Yep.
Sorry, the light's
So
kind of sucky because I got my
what's
dumbass
is
camera.
the app just at Typical Chicago Fans?
Typical Chicago fan, no S at the end of it. We're at 75 likes or 75 followers as of right
All
now,
right.
which is awesome. We're trying to grow. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of Boomies, a typical day in history. They're awesome. The best one for me was the first one when
Yep.
it was the guy from Notre Dame that went to Paw Paw or grew up in Paw Paw. But we're also putting just random videos out too.
Yep.
But yeah, go to typical. Oh, 6 videos, I think. 6 videos we've done
Yeah,
on
because I think Monday
typical
was
day.
my first one. If you got any, content ideas, we're going to do a food review on there here at some point. So we're just trying to grow, and I know we're 4 years late to the TikTok trend, but if you guys are on there, give us a like, give us a follow, all that
I'm
good
starting
stuff. But it's been a
to
really
get
fun series.
into some editing. I've got an app now where we're going to be doing some different stuff with the videos, so hopefully they get a little more different. But
Yep,
yeah, YouTube and TikTok is just it's so endless.
it is. I do worry though, and I talked to you about this when we
Yeah,
were.
you said that about the band, but I just don't see that how they could do that. If Twitter and Instagram are still around, like
Yeah, but the problem is, Zach, is that TikTok is owned by a Chinese company where
I know, but
Twitter and
the thing
Facebook and
is,
Instagram are not.
they've said it like 3 or 4 different times.
Yeah, the reason that it kept getting brought up, U.S. court rejects TikTok request to temporarily halt pending
Well,
U.S.
hey, guess
ban.
what?
So that
You think that it's going to end? Might as well follow us now, and it won't even matter. So
I
just
like it.
it's like one of those we always say when you go to like a phone store, make sure you subscribe to Typical Chicago Fans. If
Yes,
you know somebody with a TikTok, just tell them to subscribe, and they'll get some great history facts from Boomy every day.
absolutely.
My floater is Christmas spirit. I love Christmas time. It is my
Me
favorite time
too.
of the year. If I could live in December my whole life, I would because I just love going places where there's Christmas lights, Christmas trees. It just makes places more fun to be.
I completely agree with you, dude. It's tough for me because this time of year is my busiest time of the year, without a doubt.
You get to
But
see the
it is
most kids.
also,
Like you go to high schools and stuff, and you see they're
yep.
everyone decorated for Christmas. That's fun.
Yeah, and like the thing to me is like it's the most stressful time of the year for me, but when like you said, you drive home like last night, we lost yesterday, drive home, see people's Christmas lights. Like I don't know, it's probably just like that childhood memories that we have of Christmas. And like our family is a big Christmas family, like not saying that's anything different than a lot of people's, but like there's just something about that like seeing people's lights, and like I enjoy buying stuff for people, and buying
We're
stuff for myself. It's just like a nice time of year.
or like when you take your son to the lights that have gotten to be a lot more popular now is like
Yeah.
areas where they take kind of like parks and they put a bunch of Christmas lights
Yep.
and
I saw there's
that's
one in
fun to
Rockford
do.
too,
Yeah.
you know, popping up kind of all over the place. I'm completely with you, man. It just for me it's a little different because it like helps alleviate the stress of this time of year.
Because even
You know
like
what
you
I
go
mean?
outside, it's cold out and it's like you don't want to go do stuff. And then you kind of like look around and there's Christmas lights and there's
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's just fun.
Yep. Absolutely. I agree. We'll have hopefully another special next week, a little more Christmas centric, right before we get into the full-fledged Christmas week. So let's jump into the TCF Sports Minute. We'll get started with the Bears, who unfortunately just got eliminated from playoff contention
That's
this
not really
afternoon.
unfortunate.
I was trying to be nice here. All right. The Bears played Monday night at Minnesota, sitting at 4-9. You got to see better than last week. Last week was an abomination.
You got to show effort. You got to show that. You got to show some heart. I mean, that was awful. That was ugly. You can't go out there and look like that when you forced the coach out and you had people having temper tantrums and stuff like that in the locker room, and that's fine to have. But when that coach is gone and you've had a pretty much a mini bye, and you go out and you play like that against the 49ers team, who they're not that good. I mean, they have good players, but they're not that good. They shouldn't look that good. So you got to go out this week and pretend like last week didn't happen, and go out there and you got to play well the rest of the season. You got to go out there.
Some pride.
Think about it, yes, they're eliminated from the playoffs, but there's guys who want to be on this team next year or play on other teams. And you just want to win a game. It's been so long. I saw an interview with Nick Foles, and he's like, even though it kind of feels weird when you win that game, it's like a celebration, because it's just you got to win a game, and how hard it is to win a game in the NFL.
Right. And that's the thing that I think that a lot of fans, even I'm guilty of, like, we're all guilty of it. Like, they're still professionals and they're competitive people. It doesn't matter if they're 0-15, 0, whatever, 4-9, doesn't matter. They still want to go out and compete. And like you said, there's guys that are playing for contracts for next year too.
Roshan Johnson is out for the game. And DeAndre Swift is most likely not going to play. I think he's questionable. So there's going to be some running backs had to step up. That defensive line has got to do something more than it is. It has been so bad lately that the secondary it's pretty good, but they have so much time. The defensive line just can't get to the quarterback, and that hurts everybody.
You can only play defense for so long. I got bad news for you, though, Zach. The Vikings are busting out the all icy whites, the white pants, the white jerseys, the white helmets. That's worth at least 3 points.
You look bad when you get tackled.
Yeah, but it's in a dome, so.
But I mean, on the turf, you're right. But
you can't wear those outside.
I'm not worried about the game per se. I'm just worried about how the players will look.
Yep. Big opportunity.
Also, why is there another Monday night game that got flexed to Monday night, but they didn't put it in place of the Bears? That's just stupid.
I was thinking the exact same thing. What are we doing here?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. Like, make the Bears game. I guess you really can't make them play like a Sunday night game instead, or a Sunday 3:00 game.
It should have flexed it to Sunday at 8 a.m.
But the thing is, it means a lot to the Vikings.
Yeah. Yep, that is true.
I just want to see progress, which you've seen with Caleb Williams, and you just want to see some heart. Players that want to be out there and need to take a little bit of accountability for what they've done to the coaching staff. They got 2 guys fired, and it's starting to look like it wasn't the coach's fault. I mean, maybe it's just the players. The players have got to take some accountability. I'm so tired. It was like, for weeks, it was like, we got to get rid of Matt Eberflus, this and that, The players don't like him. And then they go out and they play like that. And then they finally got their way. That's just awful.
Oh, if I'm Matt Eberflus, I had the best Sunday of my career.
He's on vacation. He's not even in town anymore.
I'd be laughing to the bank as I cash my checks. Screw you guys. You ran me out, and then you came out and look like this. This is what you get.
Shane Waldron got out of there, too.
Yeah. But those guys got to go out and prove something. It's pretty simple.
Like Big Cat has said, this is the biggest hire they've ever had, ever. You have a quarterback. You have a team, per se, that you can build around. You got to get a coach.
Yeah.
It can't be some new coach or whatever. I'm starting to lean toward Ben Johnson.
Yeah, the more I hear about that, though, I'm apprehensive. I don't know if Ben Johnson, who is a guy who turned down head coaching job offers last year to stay in Detroit.
The Bears having to convince him.
That's what I'm saying, and I don't know if he's willing to go interdivision and coach against a team that he was willing to stay and probably left millions of dollars on the table for.
Yeah, there's
I
32
don't know if
jobs
that's
though.
going to happen.
At some point, you can't turn them all down.
Yeah, I think it'd be a tough sell for him just because it's from my interpretation of who he is as a person.
I think it'd be the perfect sell, dude. There's a quarterback that he can sculpt. You already have a team in place. You have a guy that could come in and just you get to rewrite it all.
No, I don't disagree. The sales pitch is there. The sales pitch is 100%. I agree.
I just think that we overthink going from division to division in the NFL. I think it's a lot different than like going in like baseball or something because I just think that you got to get a job. There's not a lot of jobs out there that, especially, you're not going to have a job where you're going to have this kind of roster. I think that he wanted to go back to the Lions and have unfinished business. And after this season, there's not much more business to have unless you win a Super Bowl per se.
Yeah, unless they lose a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you can only have that kind of season so many times. The NFL is crazy. And I like Jared Goff, but I don't know if he's a sustainable quarterback for years to come.
Yeah, they should play my guy Hendon Hooker. I've had him on my taxi squad on my fantasy team for 2 years.
Well, like David Montgomery, he's getting older, and like running backs are, only so much you can do with them.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see what that search starts to look like. I do think that Kevin Warren might be a little too involved here. The fact that Poles isn't getting.
Yeah, I think that's a little overblown. I think we don't have, no one really has any idea what's going on. Everyone wants to speculate and say Poles this, Poles that. Like, no one really knows what's going on within that organization.
Yeah, that is true. From bad to worse, we'll shift over to the Blackhawks. They did win a game today here on Sunday as we record this. They are still tied for the fewest amount of points in the NHL with the Nashville Predators. They sit at 10, 19, and 2. A little bit better today. It's got to get consistent. It can't be one game here, one game.
It's just all you really want to see.
Yep. I mean, they win today. They haven't won since, the Rangers game. There's just so many gaps in that schedule. Bedard leading the team in points is something you like to see, but he doesn't even lead the team in goals. He's got 7 goals.
No, but he got cold there for a while. He was like 12 or 13 games in a row he didn't score a goal. So for him to be back up on leading points, that's all you can really ask for this season, because the season's pretty much in the drain at this point.
Kid's got 19 points, or I'm sorry, 19
to play well, and you're going to have to start dishing out some money in free agency.
We'll see if they do that. Hopefully they do, because this is becoming
a lot like football. You can really turn around quickly with a good off season.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. And I saw they called up
too, most likely.
Yeah, and I saw they called up Nazar, who was leading the AHL in goals or points. I can't remember which one, but
yeah. I did not realize that there was a minor league hockey team in Bloomington.
Yeah, they're in the same league as the Indy. Yep, they're in the same league as the Indy Fuel, which is the Blackhawks' lower affiliate.
Yeah, they're the Rangers system.
Is that who they belong to?
Yeah, because I see it on my Instagram, and I'd never seen it before.
Yeah, it's actually like right southwest of downtown.
Sense, they don't want to travel far.
Yeah, no, I think I follow them on TikTok, so we need to get down to a game.
America playing the EHL.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to get down to a game. I've been by that stadium many times. So
it's the AHL, right?
No, they're ECHL. The Ice Hogs are the AHL.
Oh, okay.
So, moving on to the Bulls, 11 and 15. They currently sit in the 9 seed. They're 3.5 games out of the 6 seed.
Lonzo's playing better.
Yeah, he is.
It's starting to look like not old school Lonzo, but he's playing better. I don't know what else to really really say. I mean, Zach
I've been
Levine's on this
quietly
team.
happy with Josh Giddey. I mean, he's
Well, yeah,
averaging 12 and 7.
yeah. It's just there's no consistency. It's
Yeah,
been that
and
way for
that's this whole
the last 2
roster.
years.
Yeah, and Levine, of course, gets his 21 a game, but he
Oh,
can't
I'm
defend
so
a
ready for
folding
him to get
chair. So,
traded. I'm so ready for him to be traded. He doesn't want to be on this team.
well, and they're not going to get rid of it or get anything in return.
Well,
It
I think
sucks.
around the trade deadline he will be traded. I
If
just
we can
think
keep
that.
him healthy, yeah,
Well, yeah, because if he would have
yeah,
been healthy last year, he would have been gone.
yeah, that would have been way too nice. Moving into baseball, it's been a big week in Chicago. Starting off with the Cubbies, they pick up Kyle Tucker in the blockbuster trade of the
Oh
week.
yeah.
Give up a lot, not going to lie. They give up a lot. But here's my thing with this, Zach, and you might disagree with me. They have to extend him for me to say this is a good trade.
Oh yeah. But I will say that the only one I am actually worried about is Cam Smith. I think
Yeah.
he's going to be a good player. Paredes, like he can't hit to the opposite field. Like it's funny.
And I felt like he was pretty inconsistent in the time they had him last
Yeah,
year.
Matt Shaw can come up and play third base at this point.
Yep.
And at some point, the inconsistency of not being able to go to the opposite field, it's not funny anymore. It's more like, dude, why can't you hit an opposite
Yeah,
field home
you're
run?
a professional. And
And
I'll be
Hayden
honest with you.
Wesneski, he was a
Yep.
throw in. He has been so inconsistent the last few years, up and down. And to not have to get rid of Suzuki was pretty surprising.
Yeah, that one, because I had heard the rumor the day before the trade went down was Suzuki, Paredes, Wisniewski, and Matt Shaw was the four
And
that were
I
going to have
really
to go.
like Suzuki. I think he's a good player. For him to think that he needs to be playing the outfield every day is nuts. Nuts.
Yeah, I agree.
The last
I agree.
2 of the last 3 years, he has had a negative outfield, whatever you would consider that, like WAR. And
Yeah. Well, remember, he also dropped that
dropped
fly
that
ball in
one. Yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah. And if you look at this team and you want to be on this team, you cannot say that because
Yeah,
be happy you're DHing.
100%. And I think that they're going to use him as a little bit of the like a help in the pursuit of that Japanese pitcher.
Also,
I can't
what do
remember
you
his name.
think about who do you think is going to be our first baseman this year? Michael Bush or Cody Bellinger?
Pete Alonso.
Well, I mean, as of right now,
If it, right now,
because I like Michael
good
Bush,
question.
but like if you can trade him for somebody and put Cody Bellinger at first base,
Yeah, we're
but
log jammed
or
in the
trade
outfield.
Bellinger,
Yeah, I think we're in good hands either way.
they're
You
just gonna
know,
have to eat some money if
yeah,
they trade
and
Bellinger.
that is true. In some other moves, they did sign Carson Kelly as a kind of veteran catcher. Kind of feels similar to some other moves they've made in the past. Jan Gomes comes to mind. And then
Tucker
also some
Barnhart.
former. Yeah, Tucker Barnhart. Yep. They are one of the 3 or 4 teams in on Luis Castillo of the Mariners. If they can pull that one off, that rotation is going to look real nice.
I
Luis
mean, the
Castillo.
rotation looks good right now. I
Yeah,
mean,
imagine if
yeah, I
they can
know
throw
we
him in.
want to be better, but that starting rotation is still good.
100%. Some former Cubs. David Bodie signs a minor league deal with the Dodgers, and Patrick
Really?
Wisdom signed in the Korean Baseball League.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
I think that was maybe a plan.
Yeah, I think so too. I think with Wisdom, I think there were probably some minor league offers on the table, but get more money,
I
go be
thought
a
maybe
star in
Talkman
Korea.
might end up in Korea too.
Who?
Mike Talkman.
Yeah, Talkman. Who was the one that signed with the White Sox?
White Sox, he did.
Oh, okay, that's right.
I
Yep,
just thought maybe he might end up.
that's a good signing for the White Sox.
It's
Speaking of
fun for
them,
him too. He stays hometown kid. That's fun.
definitely, definitely,
He's a guy
and
that you
like
can't root against.
I agree, and like for him, I wouldn't have hated if the Cubs tendered that offer just because he is just kind of a very
But they got
usable
so many
body.
outfielders. It's just, I mean, you got Pete Crow, you got Ian Happ, Suzuki, Bellinger. I mean, you got a minor league full of outfielders. I
Yeah,
mean, unfortunately for him, it just wasn't going to work out.
absolutely. Like we said for the White Sox, though, yeah, obviously,
I
that
think that
signing that
they had maybe the best trade of the offseason. They
they
got a
got.
lot from the Red Sox.
Yep, Garrett Crochet on the move to the Red Sox.
They have 6 of the top 60 prospects in baseball right now.
Yeah, yeah, they turned it around for a lot there. I'm
Now,
trying to
you can never trust their farm system, but as of right now, it looks good on paper.
for sure. And that's the thing, like, and you almost feel like I don't know about you. Obviously, we're not White Sox fans, but like I feel happy for Garrett Crochet because he was the one that had to go through from the highs to the lows coming up in the system
Man,
and being the ace on the worst team in baseball.
the Red
To
Sox
kind of just
paid a lot for him.
yeah, they did, but they, the guy got through what was the worst season in baseball history and
He's gonna
didn't seem
be
to
Chris
complain
Sale.
about it. And
He'll be
what'd you
Chris
say?
Sale.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens this week. A lot could happen. A lot could go down in
That's
the
what's wrong with
free agency.
baseball, though. They need a deadline.
Yeah, January 1st is what it should be. That week between Christmas and New Year's
But
could get crazy.
honestly, Soto signing before the first of the year was pretty surprising.
Very surprising. Very surprising. Yeah, that was just a week ago. So we'll see what other chips start to fall here.
There's the White Sox. A lot of these players they're getting most likely will play on the team at some point this upcoming season.
Yeah, if not, 2 seasons, it'll all kind of depend. It'll be
You can
interesting to
only
see.
have a ton of talent to help before those guys come up.
Yeah, and they're not competing really. You know what I mean? Like there's
No,
just not that much.
some of the guys might as well play them.
Absolutely. Before we move on, we got to give a big shout out to our friends over at Connect Roasters Coffee. Make sure that you hit them up for the best coffee around that you are going to find. I promise you that. Ian Happ drinks it every single day, and he's a 3-time Gold Glove winner. All right, he's not popping Folgers in the coffee maker every morning. He's drinking Connect Roasters. So make sure you check out their website, connectroasters.com. Follow them on X at Connect Roasters, and get yourself over to Bourbonnais, Illinois, and check out the storefront. So as always, a big shout out to our friends at Connect Roasters. Zach, we got a big week of college football ahead of us. Let's run down the games. They don't start till Tuesday. We did have a couple bowl games on Saturday, but bigger names start up here this week. Tuesday, we've got Memphis and West Virginia. West Virginia did just name Rich Rod the head coach again. He's not coaching in the bowl game, obviously, but the Scooters Coffee, your favorite Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. I think Memphis they're 4.5-point favorites. But at the end of the day, West Virginia, there's just something about Mountaineer football.
These games are so hard to bet on because you just don't know who's going to show up, who wants to play,
or who's playing.
Yeah, it's these especially now these bowl games mean close to nothing.
Yep. But I will say this on Wednesday, James Madison and Western Kentucky. James Madison seems like a school where most of those guys stay back and play. They're 6.5-point favorites, and I think they're just a better team than Western Kentucky. But that over is at 52.5. So if you're looking for something to do Wednesday night, throw that one on the TV. You're going to see a lot of points, I think.
Yeah, that's what I would do is take overs. Just take the over in any bowl game.
Yep.
There's no
well, even the other one
played.
Wednesday night. Is Cal and UNLV over is 48.5, and I think
that's
those two
the best
teams.
Thing about these bowl games is like you'll be sitting there like on a Tuesday, Wednesday night, and be like, nothing's on. Oh, a random bowl game.
Yeah, absolutely. Thursday is a little bit of a weird one. Georgia Southern and Sam Houston, who's only been FCS for like 3 years, maybe, but they're playing in the New Orleans Bowl. Georgia Southern 6.5-point favorites over at 48.5. I'm not going to call a shot here, but Sam Houston in their like second or third year in FCS getting to a bowl game is really impressive.
Yes, it is. It shows you the transfer portal too, and I'm not saying that they had a lot of players from there, but it just shows you how you can build these teams.
Yep, absolutely. And then Friday, we start getting into some bigger names. Florida and Tulane in the
Oh,
Gasparilla Bowl.
I thought you were
Florida
saying big
14 and
names.
a half point favorites.
I thought you said big names.
I just did, buddy.
Who?
Florida Gators. I'm going to call
Okay.
my shot here. Florida Gators will be knocking on the door of the playoff next year.
I'll clip this.
Go ahead, clip it. I'm not saying they're going to get in, but they're going to be in the conversation.
I don't think they will.
I think they will. I've come completely around on this. I
Have you
think I'm just
donated
lying
to the
myself.
NIL?
Did I? No, God, no. I know. I don't have that kind of money. Ohio and Jacksonville State always pull for the MAC teams. They're 3-point favorites. But the one that everybody is interested in, Notre Dame hosting Indiana at 7 o'clock. Notre Dame opens as a 7.5 point favorite. I think I like the Irish.
I don't know. It's one of those games. It's like both of these teams should be playing other teams, I think, in a way, but they wanted them to play each other.
Yeah.
Because they kind of match up pretty well.
Yeah, they do.
And it's gonna be nuts.
Overs at 51 and a
Ticket
half,
prices
too.
have to be insane to get in the building.
Low as $490 is the cheapest you can get into the game.
At the top of the stadium.
Yeah, probably worse seats than I had for the NIU game.
And it'll be cold.
I think this is going to be a good game, but I do think that Notre Dame is at least a touchdown better than Indiana.
But
I hate to say it.
Playoff is going to do is like we get to see games like this, and at Notre Dame, that's cool. I think the first 2 rounds should be at the home team, not just the first round.
Right.
Like the team that gets a bye should also get a home game.
I agree there. And then Saturday morning, we get at 11 a.m. Penn State hosting SMU. Penn State, an 8.5 point favorite. SMU with a lot to prove. What'd you say?
They don't overlap, do they?
Which one?
The games.
So Saturday, that game is at 11. Then the next one is at 3, and then the last game is at 7. So no, there shouldn't be any overlap.
I like that. I don't want to be having to watch 2 different football games. It's too hard.
100%. Like I said, at 3 o'clock, Clemson at Texas. Texas opens as an 11.5 point favorite. I kind of like Clemson to cover 11.5 as much as I hate Dabo Swinney. That just seems like a lot of points for a team that just won the ACC championship and has, I felt, been playing much better as the season has gone on. I think Texas is better.
I have to see some teams like Ohio State and stuff. They're going to be playing, but they're also they're going to have to realize that they're going to be playing for knowing that they have 3 more games left.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And then that game is at 7 o'clock.
Like in the championship game, you see them playing everybody, and you got to play as hard as you can. You got to think about the next 2 games too.
Yep. 100%. That Tennessee Ohio State game is at 7 o'clock, and Ohio State will enter, or as of right now, sits at a 7-point favorite, kind of like Tennessee here at.
See, I love that. I'm just so excited for this playoff to start. It's going to be so fun to see teams that usually don't play each other in the biggest games.
Yep, absolutely. I'm so pumped for this. This is going to be a great weekend leading into Christmas week. So let's pick our winners right now. Indiana, Notre Dame.
I'm going Notre Dame. I wish it was Indiana, but I'm going to be logical, and I think Notre Dame is going to probably win by a lot.
Yeah, I agree. SMU, Penn State.
I think SMU's going to go into Penn State and win.
That's your upset.
I'm not that thrilled with Penn State. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's their biggest win?
Did they? No, they lost to Ohio State. That's
Indiana?
a good question.
Did they beat Indiana?
They didn't play Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see where and then they could play, and then they kind of, and I mean SMU, I want them to win, but they kind of have an easy route to the semifinals.
Yes, they do. Because they would get Boise State.
Are you going the other way?
Yeah, I think Penn State's going to pull that out. I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tight. SMU can really
I
get
think
out and go. Like they
SMU
score a
is
lot.
really a whiteout at noon at Penn State. That's a tough home field advantage.
Yeah, but the whiteout doesn't play as well at noon as it does at 7 p.m.
I still think it does when everyone's pumped up for a playoff game. It's still going to be loud.
Clemson, Texas. Who you got?
Texas by a ton.
Yeah.
I think Clemson barely got in here. They shouldn't have been in here. They won their
They
conference.
won the ACC.
Well, I know.
They deserve to be in it.
I don't know. Well, yeah, they deserve to be in it, but they barely got in is what I mean.
I'm going to take Texas, but I don't think they're going to cover 11 and a half.
I want Dabo to be on the just crying about the game. Just distraught.
Tennessee, Ohio State. I'll take the Vols.
Wait, go back to Texas. If they're smart, they're going to be playing Manning in that game at some point.
Yeah.
They got a long enough time to make some plays. I think they should switch it up more.
Yeah, he played well when he did. I don't necessarily disagree. I think if the game's super tight, then
no, but I still think like a wildcat or stuff like that, some different kind of things.
He's too good of a quarterback to just sit there and do nothing.
Well, yeah, and especially in college football, like just have in a game like that against Clemson, you have enough weeks of practice, throw some funky plays in there.
Absolutely. I'll take Tennessee in the nightcap
against Ohio State.
Yeah,
I think Ohio State's going to win it all. Honestly, I think that they have a fire underneath them, dude. How's that? That's not crazy to say.
No, I just the discourse on 2 weeks ago, everybody wanted Ryan Day's head on a stake, and
I think that game, as much as it sucked in the moment, was exactly what they needed.
Yeah, yep.
They got that game. Yes, they lost, and yes, they got embarrassed, but it meant nothing. They didn't have to go play the next week. They got a week off and not playing in the Big Ten tournament, and still got in the playoff. And I think they're going to be dialed in.
I think that Tennessee is going to put up a hell of a fight, but that's the game I'm probably most excited for.
I think that's going to be the best game.
Yep, I agree. It should be. It's the 8-9.
Yeah, it should be the most competitive, and I think all these games are going to be fun. But Notre Dame, Indiana, I love how they thought that out. They could have done whatever they wanted, and they knew that's something for the state of Indiana, and that's going to be good.
$500 just to get in the door.
I hate these people that are like, well, you didn't go by the exact numbers. Oh, shut up, dude. There's people
it's
there
a business
to move it around for a reason. If a computer's there, that's what the computer would have done. But guess what? We got real humans doing it. And yes, you can say some of the seedings are off. I don't know. But like, just enjoy the tournament and the good games they gave you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
Nothing
excited.
can ever be correct for people. It's always something different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People are going to complain one way or the other. So it is what it is. Let's move in. We got a new team builder this week. This is inspired by the Simpsons broadcast from the NFL game.
Pretty awesome, but I unfortunately had to turn it off because it was just way behind.
Yeah. I was busy that night anyway, so I didn't even.
It was cool, but like they had if there was like a special character, that means there was a touchdown about to be scored and stuff like that. Lisa, see Lisa with the game-winning touchdown. She was Jamar Chase.
I did. So for those of you on YouTube or not on YouTube, the $4 we have $12 to build our Simpsons fantasy football team here. The $4 row is Lisa, Bart, Homer, and Marge. The $3 row is Maggie, Mr. Burns, Mr. Flanders, and Mo Sislak. The $2 row is Ralph, Krusty the Clown, Sideshow Bob, and Grandpa Simpson. And the $1 row is Chief Wiggum, Millhouse, Apu, and Barney. Do you want to go first, Zach?
First, PFT was correct. The Simpsons are the best in 2D, not 3D.
Yeah, that's fair. But in that, to the opposite side of that,
school, the first 4 seasons of The Simpsons are just like gold.
Yeah, but also in the same breath, like Simpsons Hit and Run is one of the greatest video games.
Yeah, easily one of the best games. I have a Simpsons game on my phone that I've been playing, and unfortunately, it is about to be turned off. Apparently.
Oh no! Simpsons is my favorite TV show of all time.
Yeah, Yeah, you
So
kind of like
you want to
watch
go
it
first?
back, and there's so many episodes, but there's so much
Yep.
like adult humor. I will go first.
Yes.
Okay. Do I need to pick a player from each row or just
Nope. You
$12?
just spend your $12.
All right. First, I'm going Bart Simpson. Fast.
Yeah.
Probably could be the running back.
Athlete.
Athlete. Then I'm gonna go Mr. Burns. He's not playing.
Mm-mm.
He's the owner. He's the owner. He is
Oh,
paying the $1 million contracts. $1 billion.
I
Mr.
see
Burns
what
would
you
sign
did there.
Juan Soto.
I see what you did there. I thought that was going to be a horrible pick because he's infinity years old.
No, he's not playing. So that's 7. Then I'm gonna go
I should be
Sideshow
vetoing this.
Bob.
That's bending the rules pretty heavily there, big guy.
Why?
That's making one of these guys your owner.
Oh, yeah, it's his football team. It's an owner on a football team. Sideshow
All
Bob.
right.
I'm going Sideshow Bob. He's been in, I mean, he's broken in out of prison how many times? He is
Yeah.
quick on his feet and he is smart.
He's tall too.
He's smart.
Yes, he is.
So
let's see,
that
that puts
is
you at
9.
9. Yep.
Um, I'm gonna go with. Man, this is tough. I got $3 left.
Yep.
Give me Barney,
All right. That puts you at 10.
and then Krusty the Clown. I mean, mascot.
Not even that. He's got some size to him.
But Barney, Barney could be the center.
Yep.
He would take hits.
All right. I'm with you there. I'm going to go in a similar breath here.
So my team was Bart, Mr. Burns, Sideshow Bob, Barney, and Krusty the Clown.
Yep. I like what you're doing here. I'm going to go in a similar vein. I'm going to go Chief Wiggum and Barney to bolster the offensive line here and defensive line, whichever side of the ball you want to talk about. I'm going to go Grandpa Simpson to coach the team. I don't need an owner. I need a good coach. He strikes me as
he can't even remember things.
He remembers everything.
He can't remember anything.
No, as long as we keep
flashbacks.
No, stop. You're being nitpicky here. As long as he's on his meds, he's good. All right.
Have a heart attack on the sideline.
So we're at 4 here. I'm going to go Mo. It seems like a wide receiver, safety, cornerback, can do a little bit of everything. So that puts me at 7, right? No.
Yeah.
2, 4, 7.
Yeah, 7.
Yep. So I'm also, people forget this. Ned Flanders is an athlete. Okay. I know he's howdly doodly, but Ned Flanders on multiple episodes had a 6-pack. Okay. The guy's an athlete. So I'm going to go with him. And just for the absolute chaos of things with my last $2, I'm going to take Ralph because I think Ralph is hilarious. And he's going to bring some levity. Yes. I love Ralph. I would never leave Ralph off of my football team. We're not going to be very good, but we're going to have a great line. Ned Flanders running the ball behind Chief Wiggum and Barney. Like, we're going to be okay.
Yeah. Just a reminder, though, watch The Simpsons. A great show.
Yep. It's the perfect nighttime show. Me and my wife, every night we just pop it on and let it play from where we left off, and we just keep it on a loop. So,
and there's
it's my favorite show.
Or reason, like, if you watch one episode and you watch the next episode, they don't go together.
Yeah, there's very little, continuation from there on out. Let's jump over to the NFL. We are recording this Sunday night, so nearly all the games. We gotta hurry this up, Zach. The Packers are playing right now, or in 2 minutes.
Missing.
Well, yeah, I know it'd be nice to see a real football team in this market every once in a while. Sorry, I had to. Let's run down the games here. Kind of what I don't know if we can say we all expected, but the Chiefs take down the Browns 21-7. Kind of ugly, if we're being honest. The Chiefs, I feel like, are better than 14.
I think the first week of Jameis got everyone thinking like they were going to be good again. Do they still suck?
They're still the Browns.
Yeah, It's still Jameis Winston. I think he's a fun quarterback, good guy. But I mean, he had like 4 interceptions today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Chiefs are
And I'll be
still
honest, I
good. I
didn't.
mean, as much as we want to hate in the Chiefs, and I've said they're not as good as maybe their record says, they have Patrick Mahomes, and they're going to be
They
good. They're
win
going to be
games.
good. They'll be all right.
It's almost like they're so good that they're to the point where I see that score and I'm like, damn, they only beat them by 14.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, on the road too in Cleveland. So
That is true. In a game of two teams that are not going to the playoffs, the Bengals beat the Titans 37-27. A hell of a shootout there.
Joe Burrow is
60.
quietly having one of the best quarterback seasons almost ever on a team that is not playing well.
Yeah. Obviously
His
put up
stats are
37
nuts.
today, but they're not very good.
No, but they'll be all right next year. I don't think that you got Jamar Chase for the future.
They got a lot of holes to fill. That line is not very good either.
It seems like that's just the NFL.
Yeah, that is true. Moving on, the Commanders barely squeak by the New Orleans Saints, who are really bad at football. 20-19.
They don't know
Jaden
who's their
Daniels.
quarterback. It's a handsome man.
Yeah, he looks like
But he got benched.
They bring in Rattler.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think he got benched the first half. He sucks.
There's like Jake
looks like,
Hanier.
Joey, an actor.
Yeah, the guy from the 90s.
Yeah, what is his name?
God dang it, Joey. What I thought, I had the exact same thought.
I thought it was him. I thought it was like a movie.
Oh my God, that's gonna drive me.
He did a bunch of TV shows.
And he had a bunch of brothers who were actors too. Joey Lawrence.
Yeah,
there
Joey
it is.
Lawrence. He looked like Joey. I thought it was him. I'm like, man.
I did too. I did too. Commanders got to figure some things out because they probably are going to be in the playoffs, but didn't look great. The Ravens, on the other hand, take very easy care of the New York Giants, 35-14. Lamar Jackson, 290 yards, 5 touchdowns. This guy is insane.
Giants suck.
The Giants are bad, but like Lamar Jackson's a dog.
They're good. I would not want to play them in the playoffs.
It's crazy they have 5 losses.
Yeah. The NFL is tough.
Another game of two teams that no one cares about. The Cowboys take down the Panthers 30-14. I feel like the Panthers finally came down to earth.
And the Panthers in that second half looked so bad. Awful.
Yeah. I mean,
Bryce Young looked like he didn't want to play.
I mean, I can't blame that team's awful.
No, but come on. Like, that's a team.
Yeah.
You want to beat the Cowboys, and dude, they made them look bad. I mean, the Cowboys looked good, actually.
Yeah. Which is tough to do.
He's getting sacks and he's happy again. That's crazy.
Yeah. Funny how that works. Another tale of two teams not going to the playoffs. The Jets beat the Jaguars in Jacksonville.
Jets are the biggest dumpster fire I've seen in a long time. You can say what you want about the Bears. There's not that much hate on the sideline of the Bears as there is on the Jets.
Yeah, it's hilarious how
Garrett
bad
Wilson,
it is.
he was going after. He was like, no one yells at Aaron Rodgers because they don't yell at him, but they go to other coaches and yell. And like,
yeah,
it's bad. It's what I wish would have happened in Green Bay instead of for the Jets.
Green Bay's just too well of a run organization.
They've gotten rid of 2 of their Hall of Fame quarterbacks right before they got crazy.
Well, and that's what you always wonder, like, were they like this in, like, were they like this in Green Bay? I mean,
egos like that don't change. Winning changes everything.
Yeah, 100%. Dolphins Dolphins fall to the Texans 20-12.
Tua bad today.
Yeah, 196. Not great. I mean, they only scored 12 points, but Texans back to 9 wins.
That were bad.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of the Dolphins anymore. I felt like they had to win today to have a shot, but
I think they had to win today to have a shot, and it's just over now.
The Broncos, the surprising Broncos, Bo Nix and the boys get it done, 31-13 over the Colts. Stay alive in the playoff race. Move to 9-5. The Broncos are good.
They're good. The Colts are so inconsistent too.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Richardson, 17 of 38 for 172 and 2 picks.
If Anthony Richardson's throwing it 38 times in the game, you have a problem.
You're in trouble. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say except for I think I really am starting to like the Broncos.
I don't understand it. I mean, but it also goes to show you, if you're a Bears fan, that's what happens when you have a coach who is established.
Yep.
He knows what he's doing. All right, Boomy.
Absolutely.
I know this has nothing to do with the games we're talking about, but I had to get this on my chest. I'm so tired of the Jim Harbaugh love. Everybody's like, "Oh,
I'm not.
Chargers, they're so good. They're going to turn it around because Jim Harbaugh. He's Jim Harbaugh." Dude, I don't think he annoys the hell out of me.
I love him.
I don't hate him, but like
I feel like
it's good before he got there, and then he gets a good team, and then it's like, oh, they're playing so well because they got Jim Harbaugh.
Right. No, I get what you're saying. And like as a Bears fan, you hear it all the time, right? Yeah.
That stuff is so stupid.
Yep. Absolutely. We can cover that one here because they got smoked today by the Buccaneers.
Yeah. And everybody goes, oh, but it's all right. Next week they'll be all right. They have Harbaugh. It's like at some point, it's just like I just get so annoyed by it. People just love Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Baker Mayfield,
Cardinals, though. What'd you say?
Baker Mayfield.
Dog.
Dude, he's having a great season.
Baker Mayfield's a dog, dude. I love Baker Mayfield. Cardinals beat the lowly Patriots 30-17. Not much here. Cardinals are 7-7. Patriots are embarrassing.
Afternoon games than there usually is.
Yeah.
Well, there's no buys this week, I think.
Yes, buys are over. Buys are done for everybody.
There's some teams like see like the Seahawks or something play like 3 games in 10 days.
That's crazy. Oh, because
like
of Christmas.
Monday, Thursday, like kind of thing, or Sunday.
Ooh. In a game I expected more out of, the Eagles take down the Steelers pretty handily, 27-13. The Eagles are really damn good.
And the Steelers, like, you got to live on the Russie train because, I mean, he's up and down a lot.
Yeah, big time.
You take the good with the bad. And then, I don't know if you watched the game, but Najee Harris had one of the worst fumbles ever.
I did not catch that. But
like literally it was a toss to him, and he just fumbled it right away. That's what ruined the game.
And then probably the best game of the weekend, the Bills take down the Lions. Finally, someone took down the Lions. 48.
The Bills are good. The Bills
42, 90 points, dude.
Yeah, the Bills are good, but like they just give up so many points. It's like they have to always be in a shootout to win the game.
So the Bills, I think, have given up 89 points in the last 2 weeks and didn't lose both games.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
But
two teams I hope to see.
If you're in a playoff game, that's the kind of experience you want.
Absolutely. Especially for us gamblers. So, like we talked about earlier, if you skipped ahead, make sure you go back and check out the Bears. They play tomorrow night. And then also the Falcons and the Raiders tomorrow night. Who cares?
That game also kind of sucks.
Yeah. Might be finding something else to do on a Monday
what I mean?
night.
Like, why the NFL move it then?
Yeah, I don't get that one at all.
What's intriguing about Kirk Cousins on? Dude, Kirk Cousins has sucked lately.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah. Yes, he has.
I don't think he's thrown a touchdown in like the last 3 games.
Yeah, didn't he have a 4-pick game a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, but he's in a spot where you're going to play through it, even though they have Penix.
Yep, absolutely.
But at this point, why throw him in there?
Yeah, maybe once they've been eliminated.
And you got to hold on and make sure. I mean, Kirk Cousins is old. Hopefully, he just doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, seriously. Let's wrap things up, Zach. As always, we've got the TCF top 3 and kind of a little ode to our team builder. We're going to do our favorite animated TV characters. Do you want to go first?
No, you can go first. I'll let you go first for once.
All right. My number 1, my favorite show of all time, it's Homer Simpson.
Oh, yeah?
The comedic relief. Homer is the funniest character on The Simpsons, kind of the lovable doofus. So yeah, I'll go Homer with 1-1.
I know it's chalk, but Peter Griffin. I mean, everybody knows Peter Griffin. He's so funny, the voice.
Yep.
Just he's a fat, funny guy, and he makes me laugh.
I'm with you. I think I don't know if I would have personally. I think there's a couple other shows I like a little bit more than Family Guy, but it's
I'm
in the
not
top 5
super into
rotation.
animated shows.
Oh, see, that's all we watch.
Like I know you like I'm not gonna give away picks, but the American Dad and stuff like that.
Yep, American Dad, The Cleveland Show, Futurama.
Oh, I get 2 picks, right?
Yep.
And then I'm gonna have to go Bart.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be the case.
It was always funny
right,
because I'd always be like, "Don't choke him." They
That's
brought that
funny.
back, I think.
Yeah, they like went away from that for a while, but
Which is just, it's a whatever.
yeah. Let's go down this PC.
Yeah, let's not go down there.
All right, I'm gonna do these straight from the heart, and I'm not gonna take Ralph because I took him in our team builder, but Ralph would be in my, if we did like a top 5 draft, Ralph Wiggum would be up there. My second favorite character, and I probably would pick this number 1, is Roger the Alien from American Dad. He is the funniest character. He's the one that dresses in all the crazy outfits, and no one can, like, he has to stay in the attic, but he wears all these disguises that no one can tell he's an alien, and he is just, you don't know if he's gay, if he's straight, if he's whatever. He's just like the most like insane character, but he is so funny.
He's funny. I know of the character.
Yeah, Roger the Alien is up there. So my 3rd round pick, there's so many. I don't think I'm gonna take any that you would take. So if you would like to take your final 3rd round pick,
I'm gonna go Brian the dog.
Go who?
Brian the dog.
Oh, Brian. Yeah.
I mean, that's hilarious. It's a dog who's talking, who's like a part of the family, but then like same as like he kind of has some of the same traits as the alien characters. You don't know what he's up to.
Yeah.
And then when he does like dog things, it's so funny.
And I like that, like him and Stewie can have a conversation, but no one else can understand Stewie. Like, I find that very funny.
My only thing I don't like about the animated shows is like no one, like everybody stays the same age.
Yeah, I agree.
There's been 40 seasons of The Simpsons, and
I will. All right, I got mine. It's easy. It's Rick from Rick and Morty, the grandpa.
I never watched that show.
Oh, I think you would like it. Rick and Morty is very funny.
It's so hard to go back and watch shows now because there's just so much going on now.
Yeah, see, and I'm just to the point, like, I just don't watch anything that's new. I just watch all the old, like, my same stuff that I've been watching for 20 years. 35 going on 60.
You're not letting anything new into your head?
I'm not even 35. What am I talking about? 34. I said 35.
And you have to get a tetanus shot tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. Possibly. Yeah, what does my life come to? What are we doing here? Honorable mentions.
Your hand last week.
That's all good. The swelling went down on that.
After one injury, you have to go to the next one.
Yep. It heals up just in time to move. We should start running bets as to what I'm going to do next weekend to hurt myself.
I think we need to get you a bubble.
You're probably right. But that's going to do it for us, everybody. We thank you guys for joining us. That was episode 245. 246 may be coming to you from my personal bubble that Zach's going to get me for Christmas. So make sure you check us out on X at typical_Chicago, Facebook, and Instagram as well. For all the content in video form, go on over to YouTube. Subscribe to our TikTok, Typical Chicago Fan, no S on TikTok. Check out the Typical Day in History series I'm running as well. Make sure wherever you get your podcast, you subscribe, rate, and review. 5 stars wherever you can. You can find me on X at Boomy TCF, and of course, Zach at Lilia TCF. As always, guys, thanks for joining us. That was episode 245 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.